What it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league.
We saw what happened last year. Caitlin Clark was targeted.
Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical.
I know what physical basketball looks like.
The WNBA just got a whole lot louder because Natasha Cloud didn't just criticize Caitlin Clark, she attacked her. And now, the backlash is sweeping the internet like wildfire.
What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
You see my tooth knocked out? Yeah, rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. It's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting, there was no nothing.
Imagine being shoved, elbowed, disrespected on the court week after week, and then being told it's just part of the game.
The white lady entered the league and started shutting y'all's asses up. She started knocking them down.
That's exactly what's happening to Caitlin Clark. And now, Natasha Cloud crossed the line with a racially charged rant that has fans furious. But here's the truth. Every time they try to knock Caitlin down, she comes back stronger. The fans know it. The league knows it. And today, Natasha Cloud is learning that the hard way.
Natasha Cloud has come out and said the new fans that have come into the league, a lot of them are racist.
In this video, we're breaking down exactly what Natasha said, why it's being called one of the most divisive takes in WNBA history, and how Caitlin Clark just flipped the script without saying a word. Let's get straight to it. Natasha Cloud didn't just criticize Caitlin Clark's game, she targeted her identity.
So she went on with fellow racist Ryan Clark on The Pivot, talking about how racist we are. They can't see over their own hate.
Dismissed her impact and took it to a whole new level of disrespect. Her exact words? This is a black league.
By the end of the first year, y'all all look like fools. The rookie made the all-WNBA team. But y'all got reality checked, and these players are mad. They wanted to grow the league as long as the league were a bunch of woke activist fans.
That's the root of what we're talking about here. It's the culture of this league, and y'all are coming in and disrespecting it. Let that sink in. Instead of addressing real basketball discussions like fouls, hits, or fairness, Natasha decided to reduce Caitlin's presence to a white outsider problem.
The vets are going after certain players. It's all bullshit.
I know what physical basketball looks like, and I know that what I saw on Caitlin Clark last year was not physical basketball, it was targeting.
She didn't talk about skill or competition, she framed it as Caitlin not belonging, simply because of who she is.
Natasha Cloud hates Sophie Cunningham for voting for Trump. She hates America.
I tried to have open dialogue. I tried to have hard dialogue with her, and it is what it is. What you vote for this election, we gonna see. But my life depends on it, and if that don't matter to you, you can't tell someone you love them and then vote against their life. Period.
Funny thing is, the WNBA is begging for growth. It's desperate for media coverage, ticket sales, and fans who care. And now when someone like Caitlin Clark comes along, breaking viewership records and putting butts in seats, players like Natasha throw shade and gatekeep the league like it's some private club. Natasha says Caitlin doesn't respect the culture. But what's respectful about constantly elbowing her, talking trash, and mocking her after every hit?
Just because y'all are used to playing prison ball for decades doesn't mean it's ethical basketball. No one was watching, so no one cared. Now the world is watching the WNBA, and the new viewers are calling out unethical hoops. It's not racism. It's an unbearable product that needs to change. The players need to be better. The referees need to be better.
And when Caitlin doesn't react, doesn't clap back, doesn't whine, she still gets attacked for not fitting in. What exactly is she doing wrong besides being successful?
It almost felt like marketers were trying to figure out, like, yeah, we have all of these amazing players and these amazing personalities, but can we push the demographic? And then when Caitlin Clark got to the league, the Angel Reese's got to the league, and they might have been fouled hard. The same thing I saw happen with Shamika Holdsclaw, though.
You see my tooth knocked out?
Yeah,
rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. My tooth knocked out. I still didn't get it.
So how do you?
It's cool.
T-Cloud, how do you feel about the fact that all of a sudden it was, oh, it's too physical. Oh, they're going at them because they're stars. What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
It was a crazy season because we have never had so much momentum behind our league, so much support, demand, viewership, all that, accessibility. But the craziness that came with the new fandom was rooted in something other than fandom, right? And I think that's very evident to see across the board. In a lot of ways, it has not been about basketball. Like, we can talk about, you know, people getting fouled. I just showed you my tooth getting knocked out. Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical. I can tell you the amount of times I've left with bloody lips and eyes. I have bruises all over my body, even from the game last night. You can see bruises on my elbow from last night. Like, it's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting. There was no nothing.
Right.
That narrative that got spun into, oh, the vets hate the rookies hate the vets are going after certain players. It's all bullshit. Like, if I'm just gonna be frank, like, it's all bullshit. What it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league the way that any other best player, franchise player is gonna get played. Watch how Stewie gets played. Watch how Asia gets played. Watch how Enrique gets played. Watch how Khalid gets played. Go down the list of franchise players for every team. They be getting fucked up every game. It don't matter what position you are, what color you are, what school you came out of. This is how we feed our families. Our job is to go and win, and if we don't win, what happens? We get fired. We lose our jobs. So.
Facts. Caitlin Clark is getting mauled, no calls. Ryan Clark is a clout chaser that stinks at sports commentary. His co-hosts aren't worth mentioning. Natasha Cloud, a.k.a. Natasha Clown, is running the race-baiting media because she's average at best in the W, and now she's stuck in Connecticut because she stinks.
And the fans aren't stupid. They saw right through Natasha's words. Social media lit up with people calling her comments divisive, bitter, and flat-out jealous. Even neutral viewers, people who didn't care before, are now defending Caitlin because they're sick of watching a young woman be targeted for no reason but existing in a space she earned.
There are racists everywhere. It is, again, unfair to say the most popular player in the WNBA has seen in years brought that in. Most people were simply upset that their star players were getting roughed up, mostly because they never watched a WNBA game in their life.
Natasha Cloud thought she was making a statement. But what she really did was expose how threatened some players feel by Caitlin's success. And instead of rising to the challenge, they're trying to tear her down. Every time Caitlin Clark gets shoved to the floor, blindsided by an elbow, or hit with a flagrant foul, you know what the defenders say? It's part of the game. That's the excuse. That's the cover story. And it's being repeated so often it's starting to sound like a script. Let's look at the facts. First, Chennedy Carter hits Caitlin Clark with a blindside body check off the ball. Not a basketball play, just straight-up physical assault. The crowd gasped. Social media exploded. And what did ESPN analyst Monica McNutt say? This is how the black women play the game. She brushed it off as culture, as toughness, as intensity. Then there's Natasha Cloud again saying Caitlin needs to toughen up.
There have always been the dominant teams. There's UConn, there is South Carolina. I think that the fact that Caitlin Clark started on a team that did not have mind-blowing talent existing and brought that team to a championship really says something about you as a player. And when you are ranking players, you are ranking them as an individual unit rather than a team.
That she's not ready for the league's energy. Not a word about unnecessary hits. No concern for safety. Just this constant drumbeat of she needs to adjust. But let's be real here. What if the roles were reversed? What if a white player elbowed a black rookie, then turned and mocked her while the media called it grit? What if someone said, that's just how white girls play? Would that fly? Would the media stay silent? Absolutely not. There'd be outrage, panel discussions, hashtags, and possibly suspensions. And through all this, Caitlin Clark keeps her head down. She doesn't whine. She doesn't beg for fouls. She doesn't even respond to the trash talk.
The association, they gave us a gym that I paid for. Not entirely, but they took money out of my check and I paid for it.
You better get the fucking full usage of that.
Man, I got hot tub, cold tub, weight room, full court basketball room. I walk in today, I'm on one side working out, Caitlin Clark on the other side.
Really?
I look at myself, there you go, two fucking legends, Patty.
Did you say what's up?
You know I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout people, you know, got to think, anytime I hit the court, I got to hit that bike. I'm older now, so I got to get on that bike and stroll for a couple 5, 6, 7 minutes. So while I'm strolling through the park, I'm looking at her shoot it. And she's one of those shooters where if you know as a gym rat, you guys know, like, damn, bro, why you throw that pass bad? Give me the ball in my chest. I'm like, oh, she's a gangster also.
She's lighting people up.
Throw me the ball the way I want it.
What drill was it? What drill was she running?
I don't know. She was doing a 2 in a row corner wing. And if you miss, you have to go back to the next spot. And if you missed again, you have to go back to the starting spot. She had a nice drill. I'm literally still in it.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right. So she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
She takes the hits and keeps playing. Meanwhile, her haters spin the story like she's the problem. Like her presence in the league is somehow disrespectful, even though she's literally drawing millions of eyeballs to a sport that's been begging for attention for decades. Let's not get it twisted. Physical play is part of basketball. But cheap shots, targeted bullying, and off-ball violence, that's not the game. That's jealousy in motion. And when influential voices like Monica and Natasha downplay it as normal, they're setting a dangerous precedent.
A lot of times, you as an individual can really raise that team up and bring them to a championship. Breanna Stewart, who was ranked #1 in the top college basketball players of all time, but if she would have been on an Iowa team, would she have been able to win that championship also?
They're telling young players, especially white players, if you succeed too loudly, if you get too popular, don't expect protection. Expect punishment. That's the message. And it's not just bad for Caitlin. It's bad for the league. And guess what? The public is seeing through the smoke. The ratings prove it. Fans from across the country, new and old, are rallying around Caitlin, not because she's perfect, but because they recognize when someone is being unfairly targeted. The average fan doesn't care about race, gatekeeping, or old-school grudges. They just want good basketball. And right now, Caitlin Clark delivers. She doesn't retaliate. She doesn't talk back. She doesn't play the victim. Instead, she drops dimes, hits logo threes, and sets records. She shows up, does her job, and keeps the league alive, while her critics stay stuck in high school-level drama complaining from the sidelines. So no, it's not just part of the game. It's a targeted campaign to break someone who's already doing more for the WNBA than half the league combined. And the more they try to break her, the more fans stand behind her. Because everyone loves an underdog, especially when she stays standing while the world tries to knock her down. Let's cut through the noise. Caitlin Clark isn't being targeted because she's disrespectful. She's not being hit because she's soft. And she's definitely not being shoved because she doesn't understand the culture. No, the real reason is simple. She's a threat to the old narrative, a threat to the power dynamics, a threat to the players who've been in the league for years and never moved the needle the way Caitlin did in just a few games.
The Mist, which is Breanna Stewart's team, is the second to worst team in Unrivaled. And Breanna Stewart, with her talent, with her just winning a championship WNBA ring on the Liberty, did not raise that team to any high level in Unrivaled herself.
Before Caitlin Clark even stepped foot on a WNBA court, ticket sales for Indiana Fever road games skyrocketed. Her jersey sold out in hours. Social media clips of her games drew millions of views. ESPN bumped WNBA games to primetime because of her. She's not just a player, she's a walking spotlight. And that spotlight has a lot of people feeling exposed. In fact, some WNBA teams were playing in empty arenas just last season. Now, teams are moving to bigger venues just to handle the Caitlin Clark effect, and that has to sting for some veterans who've been grinding for years with little recognition. Instead of embracing the boost she brings, some players are disguising jealousy as protection of culture. They say she's not one of them, that she hasn't earned her place, that she doesn't know how to play their game. But let's be honest, it's not about culture, it's about control. For years, the WNBA has been dominated by a tight circle, players who dictated the tone, controlled the narrative, and were used to getting praised no matter the results. Now here comes a young woman from Iowa, not from a powerhouse city, not from the in crowd, and suddenly she's the face of the league. That scares them, because it threatens their identity, their comfort zone, and their perceived status.
And their ranking is that Breanna Stewart is the #1 best college basketball player of all time. The #2 best basketball player is Candace Parker. And then they have Diana Taurasi. And then they have Maya Moore. And then in that 5th slot, they slot in Cheryl Miller.
And it doesn't help that the media, especially WNBA-aligned voices, often feed this fire. Look at how the talking heads discuss Caitlin Clark. Every foul she takes, she should toughen up. Every shove she receives, that's just how the league plays. Every highlight she creates, the media's overhyping her. These same outlets, which spent years begging fans to watch the WNBA, are now mad that millions are finally watching. Because it's the wrong kind of attention. Because it's attention that didn't go through their approved gatekeepers. It's not DEI. It's not identity politics. It's just raw basketball talent meeting mainstream appeal. And that kind of organic power, you can't control it. Let's be real. A'ja Wilson is a phenomenal player. So is Angel Reese. So is Breanna Stewart. But none of them, none, have moved the needle like Caitlin Clark. And it's not because she's white, it's because she's captivating. She has Steph Curry range, court vision like a veteran point guard, and a humble Midwest demeanor that resonates with fans across America. She's not just good, she's relatable. You don't have to be a basketball junkie to love watching her play. You just have to love excellence. And that's why the criticism cuts deeper. Because the players criticizing her know she's special. They see the crowd reaction, the camera flashes, the fans wearing her jersey, and they feel overshadowed.
For somebody who went to a team like Iowa, who did not have championship experience, who did not have stars around her, and it is undeniable that there is one player that brought Iowa to the championship, that raised everybody else up around her, and their name is Caitlin Clark.
So they lash out. And here's the most disappointing part. Where's the WNBA leadership in all this? They should be protecting her, not because she's special, but because she's valuable. The WNBA finally has a mainstream name who brings money, headlines, and hope. And yet, instead of protecting that asset, they're sitting back while veterans body check her on national TV and dismiss her as an outsider. That's not leadership. That's sabotage. If the league continues down this path, letting jealousy override growth, it's going to implode. Fans won't stick around to watch one of the brightest young stars in the world get bullied every week. Sponsors won't invest in a product that lets its most marketable player be harassed without consequences. And new fans? They'll leave as quickly as they came. This isn't just about Caitlin anymore. It's about whether the WNBA wants to grow up and become a real league or stay stuck in its echo chamber, more focused on protecting fragile egos than building a future. Because here's the truth. Caitlin Clark is the spark the WNBA prayed for, and now some players are trying to snuff her out because they weren't ready for the fire. But no matter how many hits she takes, no matter how many comments they throw her way, she's not backing down. And that's exactly why the people love her.
Here's the thing. Love Caitlin, love how she's transcended the game. I'm not going to go away from that, but in the open, we said, what makes a top 5 player? Winning. The only strike against Caitlin Clark is that she has not won a national championship. And that is the only thing that you can put against her, because the way she has dominated the record books when she was at Iowa was something you cannot duplicate. She's a 3-time NCAA scoring leader and assist leader, a true point guard for the people, 3-time All-American, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year, 2-time AP Player of the Year, all-time leading scorer. She broke the records of Kelsey Plum and Sabrina. Like, literally, there is nobody who has been such a front-facing name. It's through a direct reflection of her skill set, but how can you be a top 5 player if you have not won a title?
It's a great point, which is why I agree with you.
So let's call it what it is. Caitlin Clark didn't walk into the WNBA asking for special treatment. She walked in ready to earn her stripes. And ever since, she's been doing exactly that, with poise, grace, and talent that screams generational. Natasha Cloud can throw shade. Monica McNutt can claim it's the black player game. The media can play gatekeeper. But no one, and I mean no one, can stop what's already happening.
If you don't think that Caitlin Clark is one of the top 5 basketball players of all time, but for the simple reason of not winning a championship, I do have to disagree. Championships are definitely a team recognition. They are something that a team does together and accomplishes.
Caitlin Clark isn't just playing the game, she's redefining it. She's putting fans in seats. She's putting the WNBA in headlines, and every time someone tries to take her down, she rises higher. Not by talking, but by dominating on the court. If the league's not careful, they'll fumble the biggest blessing they've ever had. But us, the fans, we see what's happening. We see the agenda, and we're not buying it. Caitlin's not just the future, she's the now. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are players like Natasha Cloud hurting the league more than helping it? Should the WNBA protect its biggest stars? And most importantly, is Caitlin Clark being unfairly targeted? Like, share, and subscribe if you're standing with Caitlin and standing for fairness in the game. We're just getting started, and trust me, the best is yet to come.